welcome to the Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a Ko-Fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now, we are joined by Sensual Goat and Neil, together with a whole bunch of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server. So, welcome one and all.
Guten Tag.
It's another thing why I gotta come back. Nobody's in freaking G+. What the heck is going on?
What a fantastic start to my live show. Good to have you back, Neil. It's good to be here. Got a couple of videos to cover. Everyone excited? Having had a lovely weekend, I'm sure.
Woohoo!
See, that's the kind of enthusiasm I'm looking for. See, Neil's come back and detailed his woes of car crashes. So, he's not had a fun time.
Discord gang.
There again. Again from Discord?
Just shouting out the Discord. Discord gang. Wee.
Indeed, Gene. Yes, the Discord gang. That's what we've got. Jolly good show. So smash that share button. Obviously, we're going to cover a few different things, but we will do a housekeeping question or two before we do. So, any evidence of the distance to the sun?
You need half of that.
No, they need half of that. Distance to the sun isn't possible as far as I can fathom. I don't make any claims about it, but the globe Earthers' distance to the sun would require an R value measured off a flat plane. That's correct. They need an R value. They being globe believers, right?
Right.
But even then, that would give you an inferred distance as opposed to a measured, validated distance. I mean, anybody can use clever maths to infer that they can extrapolate out a distance, but that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean they've got a distance to the sun. And it has flat Earth origins as its genesis, so you can't really suggest that that is actually a correct distance, because you'd have to reify the notion of being on a sphere to achieve that distance that they give you in heliocentrism. Any other distance measurements for the sun? Any evidence you can have pitch data on a globe? That'll be a no. All right then.
So what is pitch data?
Shows the pitch of the plane with respect to a horizontal reference.
So how could you be asking for evidence of pitch data on a globe? That's an impossibility.
Correct. Correct answer also. Yeah, you can't have pitch data on a globe, like a horizon. You can't have a horizon on a globe. Things are incompatible.
But hold on, Nathan. Don't you know everything moves together, with the atmosphere?
So, pitch data still with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. Heights and altitudes are described with respect to sea level. Pitch is described with respect to horizontal. Everything to do with flight has its references regarding surface level, eye level, parallel with it. Heights, altitudes, pitch. It's all with respect to a flat Earth. That might be the correct lead into the video that we'll cover today. So there's several videos that we're going to cover. One is very, very short indeed, and just happened to be on my mindless doom scrolling through YouTube Shorts, as I happen to do. I'm sure a few of you will be familiar. But this video is by a guy called Tabs Original, and he just covers his CGI flight stuff. But it was interesting because it's about flight, regardless of it being simulated flight, as you can probably see in these upper shots, where he's showing what he's pressing on his little sim rig that he's got, which is very cool. Probably why I'm interested in it, right? Technologically speaking, it's cool. I like that kind of stuff. Until he mentions flat Earth, then he's going to get ripped a new one. We'll see how the panel react to what he says.
Computer-enforced G-limit with the paddle on the front of my stick. I keep the stick full aft while hoping the F-15 overshoots and tries to slow down with me. The flight is now somewhat neutral, as the F-15 is no longer on my 6.
Okay, so before I do anything else, I will actually share his video. So, as I say, this guy, Tabs, please let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment on his shorts video that alludes to the fact that we've responded in some form or another, even though this is going to be done and dusted with almost immediately, to his shorts video. Now, it might be a bit of a shock that he's getting this because of his offhand comment that you'll hear in a moment. Nevertheless, we have responded to his video. Therefore, it's only reasonable that we share in the YouTube algorithmic love that we definitely do not receive from YouTube. And hopefully he'll receive it from us. So, yeah, leave him a comment. I've put a link in the live stream chat. So if you're one of the 40 people watching, I know we've only just started. But do please pop along, leave him a comment, leave him a like if you like his video, if you're into this sort of thing. But let him know more than anything else at Nathan Oakley 1980, all one word. So an at sign, then Nathan Oakley 1980, all one word. Sent me. Share the YouTube algorithmic love. Go ahead, whoever that was.
Sorry, a quick question as to regards that. So I know there's no spaces. Do the capital letters have to be included in your first and last name?
No, just at Nathan Oakley 1980, all one word is fine. I mean, when you make a YouTube channel, how it comes out and how it's displayed is critical in terms of the case. So if I put Nathan in a capital and Oakley in lowercase, that would be how it presented to every single viewer always. And there's not a lot you can do about that. I mean, you can just change the overall channel name, but the way it's formatted when you first start the channel is quite important. Anyway, it doesn't matter to case in terms of finding the channel. You won't find it. You type it in any old how you can type it with separate words. It doesn't make any difference. Anyway, let this videographer know, who probably does get his videos shown when you type in his name, tabs_original, know that we've covered him. And hopefully the idea being that if he were to cover us and say, hey, flat earthers, I listened to your video and blah, 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 he'd put a link to my video. That would be the overall plus. He gets shared videos, and typically people are larger than us. Sometimes they're smaller than us. We're a very small channel. But, you know, there are occasions where there are smaller channels that we do cover. In this case, I have no doubt that he's probably bigger. I have no idea, actually, how big this channel is. He might be 100 subscribers. He might be 10 million. I have no idea. Either way, we'll get through the actual video, because obviously people are now presumably wondering why I'm covering this. So
My Hornet can now channel its inner flat earther by being very slow and ignoring physics. I can't quite pull my nose up enough and discover that friendly support has arrived, but nearly takes us both out in one burst. Luckily,
pull your nose up. Oh, channel your inner flat earther to use a horizontal plane of reference plane and a description that could only have a horizontal plane of reference describing it. That would be up. So when you pull up, if you're a ball-believing numpty, you'd be pulling out with respect to a curved surface. There is no up on a globe. You need a horizontal plane of reference. When you describe your altitude in your aeroplane, your altitude, both planes have got altitude meters in them. Altimeters, I should say. And they're both referencing the same flat plane for their height above it. They've both got a description above sea level for both planes. Yeah? None of your targeting would work if you were both calculating for distances that had curved surfaces and a surface level, surface curve to describe them from. No, you don't do that, though, do you, in a plane? Even in your sim, you've still got surface level and a height above it. Now, we, for practical application and more realistic demonstration of a Earth that's flat as opposed to simulated flat, which yours will be, simulated flat, our reference is from the NTSB and is pitch data, which shows the angle of the plane with respect to the horizontal surface. It's always horizontal. You're describing an angle. Same with the height above surface level in feet or meters. It's described from surface level that's flat. So pitch data, NTSB, height, altitudes, it's all with respect to a flat Earth. Earth is measured flat for flight. There's no exceptions. So when you say you channel you're in a flat earther, it's flat for everyone. All of your measurements in your sim will be with respect to a plane of reference to give you this description you used. To take evasive maneuvers up, you'll need a flat earth for that up. Stop using flat earth terminologies if you're going to demean a flat earther by suggesting that you're channeling one, not in sarcastic terms. Meanwhile, your Earth in this game is flat because it's trying to simulate reality, which is flat. To have any of the terms and descriptions of height and pitch. That's all I've got to cover on this particular video. So that's it. Please there's nothing else to add. I mean, I'll play a little bit more just so you can hear a bit more, and you might actually enjoy sim fighting. I certainly enjoy his videos when they've come up. I have actually watched them to see if it's his evasive maneuvers and whatnot. But I have put a link to his video, so please let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, even though it was only a offhand comment from him, channeling his inner flat earther. Oh, well, now you've got more flat earthers coming to your videos. I suppose no news is bad news. There's no such thing as bad publicity. But it's useful for me to point out that we've got actual, useful, tangible data from the NTSB that shows pitch that we reference in terms of the angle of the plane with respect to a horizontal reference, which it absolutely is. Something we've been trying to attain for many years and told that it would cost hundreds of thousands of pounds to attain by pilots. One called Wolfie 6020. Oh, you won't ever get this data, and it's not even relevant if you did. And when we did, it shows Earth is flat, measured, like everything and every reference always. Anyway, that's Tab's original video. You'll have a couple more seconds out of me, or him.
Luckily, my Hornet has more self-preservation than I do, and reminds me that trees are about to enter my intakes. This has
Very exciting stuff. So yeah, check out his video. Hopefully you've all toddled along, even though there's only 60-odd people, 63 people watching. As we've not long been live streaming, but yes, we have got other things to cover today. What do you all make of that? I know it was only an offhand comment.
Another condescending gamer. Add it to the pile.
His attitude is separated from the actual references and useful nature of the game in terms of how it functions. And it's a sim. It's supposed to be replicating reality. It's all flat, but yet it's separated from that mentally. He can, demean the thing that's functionally useful in his sim? I don't really get it. He does. Obviously, I do get it. There's a disconnect because people see flat Earth as something completely devoid of the reality that they're in, because it's always going to be sphere-shaped by pure fiat, by pure assumption. And why would it be anything else? As I'm literally using it being something completely different, that's flat. Why would it be anything other than globe-shaped when I'm referencing it, measuring it, flying it across it flat, describing my angle with respect to it flat, describing my height above it flat? Why would it be anything other than globe-shaped? Is that going through his mind? No, he doesn't connect the two like I've just done. They're separate, according to him. So when he talks about channeling you're in a flat earther, it's got nothing to do with the game. It's just some horrible comment he wants to throw in to be demeaning sarcastically. Any other comments? Not, we'll move on. I've got something else to cover. These are flat Earth memes from how do you say that? Memendale Dark. Okay. Well, either way, I'll share this link as well. So please let this videographer know. Now, this guy's definitely got a lot more subs than us, 296,000. Let him know, like you have just done with that Tabs guy. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that just alludes to the fact that we have covered their video. Right, anybody got any comment on this? I don't know who, I can't remember who shared this. Oh no, who shared this?
Mighty Mush.
Mush, you're about. Server deafened, so he can't even hear me appealing to him. So we're not going to get a preamble on this one. Oh, that's a shame. So consecutively, I'm sending you elsewhere, which isn't necessarily a good thing to do as soon as you've gone live. But there we go. Such is life. I've put a link now, and obviously the numbers of people watching has dropped by about 20. Good, because 20 people have toddled along and let this person know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. They all know the drill. Thank you, everyone who does this. I really do appreciate it. But whether or not this is useful, I don't know. But we'll get a general gist of what this guy thinks are worthy memes to explore with regards to the terminology, which is flat earthers, and what they want you to believe. So the name of the video is Memes Flat Earthers Want You to Believe. Okay, so we're immediately into your stereotyping fallacy just by the pure title of it, but we'll get into it anyway.
Pearl Harbor, Japan.
Hold on.
Yeah, go
Just
ahead.
say that memes are very fun and they're a way of conveying your message with a good sense of humour. So I'm looking forward to this.
Okay, so it says this is how Japan attacked Pearl Harbor according to flat earthers. This is a Mercator projection. The transverse Mercator projection is a projection that comes from a globe and is rolled out flat. That's why it's presentable on this screen as flat. But it's a globe projection. Now, the globe that it's projected from has its measurements, specifically for latitude and longitude, measured with respect to a flat plane to plot out the globe. So you measure Earth flat, plot the points that you measured onto a globe, and then wrap a cylinder around that globe, cut it down the middle and roll it out flat. That's what this is. This is a Mercator projection. So, according to flat earthers, no, I could spin this the other way and say, according to globers, this is a globe projection. I mean, it is ipso facto flat, but you could say, well, that came from a globe projection, yeah, after becoming cylindrical. But prior to becoming a globe and after becoming cylindrical, it was measured flat to create the globe, to put onto a cylinder, to roll back out flat. So, no, I mean, this might be what you perceive flat earthers to say the world functions as, and it might make for an amusing meme, but this is a globe projection. It's called the Mercator projection. Transverse Mercator projection.
The globe.
That's not a globe. So that is the 2007 blue marble. It's photoshopped. Because it has to be. So what do you mean, the globe? No, that's a photoshopped, self-confessed image created by some dude. But if these are memes that flat earthers want you to believe, well, then the idiot flat earthers don't know what that is. Self-confessed CGI, made by Photoshop.
Foundation for evolution. The Big Bang. Atheism. Alien seeding.
The Big Bang? It's the first law of thermodynamics violation. Alien seeding? As in aliens in this context in an area of sky vacuum that violates natural law? Like those sort of aliens on soil in the sky? No, in reality, there's no soil in the sky, but in your world, there's a violation of natural law, second law of thermodynamics being that law that it violates. Empty area that gas on your photoshopped blue marble image would disperse into in line with entropic law. So you've got a second law of thermodynamics violation, gas not dispersing into sky vacuums, and a first law of thermodynamics violation in the form of the Big Bang. Just in this meme that flat earthers think. There's nothing flat earth in this. It's just multiple laws of violation. Laws of thermodynamic violation.
Paganism and the occult. The New World Order and satanic world control.
I don't go on about any of these things as a flat earther. Me talking about how Earth is functionally and usefully flat has got something to do with satanic world order. What? Who here? Raise your hands. Am I surrounded by Satanists and I was unaware of it? Hello? This is apparently a stereotype that applies to all of us flat earthers here. Who here has been babbling on about satanic world control? Come on, it's one of you. I know it is. Must be, for this stereotype to make sense.
I was at a party a few years ago when the guy was talking about in the corner. Does that count?
Was he a flat earther?
Well, wait a second.
No.
Wait a second. Every Christian would apply for that.
Excuse me?
Nathan, every Christian would apply for that one.
Would apply?
As a Christian, Christians know that the God of this world is the devil. So
Shout out to all the flat earth Muslims. What's your point?
well, it was an answer to your question.
I'm saying, does this represent flat earthers as a stereotype? You're saying, well, one specific subcategory within flat earth it does apply to. So it's not a reasonable stereotype then.
Oh, all right. Well, I just thought I'd chime in.
You do babble on about satanic world control and paganism.
Well,
and the
no,
occult.
I talk about that when I preach the Bible and I talk about God's word. I'm an FE guy talking about what God's word says, right?
So do you ever talk about New World Order?
Yeah, not really.
This is definitely an unfair stereotype even for you, the Christian.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
The Flat Earth.
What's this? The Flat Earth Society pizza pie azimuthal equidistant projection, also in a sky vacuum surrounded by a dome. Who's been claiming this garbage that I definitely don't claim? This is also a globe projection, azimuthal equidistant in nature. Also a conical projection from a globe that also came from flat Earth measurements as its genesis. So you project the flat Earth angle measurements taken from a flat plane, from a flat surface, onto a globe, and then take this conical, it's described as azimuthal equidistant, projection. So you've got a flat map that's come from a globe that's come from flat Earth angle measurements. And you're saying that that's something I would claim with a dome over it? It's a map with a dome over it. It's just ludicrous.
Described in the Bible. Validates the Bible. Scientifically proven.
Category error. So you're talking about idiots. Not even your stereotype works because it's a category error. You can't have a scientifically proven azimuthal equidistant map. This is stupid. It's not a category of science in the first place. But even in your stereotype, you're saying that we claim a map with a picture of a dome over it is something that could be scientifically validated. Outrageous.
Points to God alone as creator. Blows Satan's deceptions wide open. Now do you see why they...
Shout out to my Rastafarian flat earth brethren. They're all flat earthers are Christians then.
are lying? Jupiter, 1879. Now, Saturn, 1885. Now...
What's this got to do with anything? So you're showing us lights in the sky. You think there's soil up there, mate. You think this is high pressure gas, right? In your narrative, Jupiter has got storms that have raged for hundreds of years. The dot is a raging storm. So it's really high pressure gas then? Next to a 10 to the minus 17 torr sky vacuum, and none of the high pressure gas has any tendency whatsoever to follow that natural law. Utter bullshit. I don't care what these pictures look like when you compare 70s to 2024. I don't care. Your narrative says this is high pressure gas next to a vacuum. I mean, are you nuts? That's what you believe, though, if you're in a heliocentric world where there's soil in the sky and high pressure gas lights that don't disperse into vacuums.
Pluto, 2003. Now, 5th century BC. Now.
Why have you put 5th century BC when it's that same 2007 blue marble that was declared by Simmons to be photoshopped? Because it has to be. And then why have you got yet another pizza pie in a sky vacuum as a representation of flat Earth? These are outrageous stereotypes. I mean, I can still pick flaw with your stupid 2017 Photoshop nonsense and point out that if it were real, that is beyond the Photoshop nonsense you thought was a picture from space, was going to disperse into the sky vacuum. I'll still debunk the notion, even though I can prove it's Photoshop, because it's self-declared to be. Same with your Jupiter picture. High pressure gas next to a vacuum, au contraire. Violation of natural law, my friend. Doesn't matter what the pictures show.
Now, if the Earth was flat, would...
It is flat. It's measured flat. Functionally flat for all of the diagrammatical evidence that you claim to be presenting for a globe. For example, and not limited to, azimuthal, equidistant projections, and transverse Mercator projections. Both require flat Earth angle measurements at their origin. Their genesis are flat Earth measurements in all instances.
Would it wear its pants like this?
So, would a flat Earth wear pants? Would you need a flat Earth if you were lost at sea? Would you need a flat Earth if you were flying across the plane? Would you need a flat Earth if you were creating a map, or using a map in any way, shape, or form? Would you need a flat Earth if you were charting the world? No. Would flat Earth wear pants? Okay. Go ahead.
What a moron.
These are memes.
Yeah, what a moron, eh?
Whoever made this meme is an idiot, yeah. But that's the level of idiocy that we are dealing with on the opposing side. You're very easy to brainwash if you're watching it on the other side, because this is the kind of crap that you think defeats a flat Earth, when you and us and everyone measure and utilise Earth flat. For every example you'll ever show for any measurement ever.
Or like this? If Earth isn't flat, why are...
If Earth isn't flat, you'll have no globe to claim, and Earth won't have any functionality that could be measurable ever. it is flat, so we do have functionality that you can utilize from Earth, and it is always used that way.
Choose like this, and not like this. What the hell? It's flat.
So pizza pie in a sky vacuum. So let me get this straight. In your fantasy world, because you've imposed a flat Earth pizza pie into a sky vacuum where you've got spacemen in suits with hoses. What's this? Is this so they can have oxygen? So presumably, even in your meme, these men in suits are protecting themselves from the black area of sky vacuum. But Earth, pizza pie or sphere Earth, it doesn't matter. It's next to a sky vacuum. No. It just highlights how absurd your rhetoric is, because you're the ones with a sky vacuum, not me.
Satan's globe Earth lie. The big...
What, another CGI image that isn't photos from space? Because there is no space, it's a violation of natural law. But it's suddenly Satan's globe Earth lie. Okay. So, shout out to all my Sikh flat earthers out there.
Big Bang and even...
Sikhs have Satan as well? Maybe they do.
Evolution explained life. You were an accident. We evolved from primordial soup. We are specks in the universe.
It's all globe Earth rhetoric.
Some people are more valuable than others.
That is all globe Earth rhetoric. They're coming from a primordial soup. No, total bollocks. Also a first law of thermodynamics violation. The very existence you've already covered with Big Bang is a first law of thermodynamics violation. In that rhetoric, you are an accident. That's just a fact. Now, in reality, the ontological primitives only have one outcome. You can either violate the first law of thermodynamics and assume there's a Big Bang, or accept that there is an external entity that created us. Ergo, not an accident. I can justify that. I can prove it with laws of nature. Now, in your world, our world came into existence by violating the very laws of existence. That's your world with the Big Bang. Okay, that's stupid. But as a result of that stupidity, you've got things like this. You know, you being created from soup. Okay. Accidentally created from soup. Right? Utterly absurd.
Foundation for the New World Order.
Well, to give him a
Back
little
to
bit
more
of
New
credit,
World Order claims. Go ahead.
to give him a little bit of credit, he is smart enough not to put his real voice and face to this crap.
Maybe.
You are worthless.
These are all globe Earth rhetorics. You are but an insignificant speck of dust that came from a chance, an accident, violating first law of thermodynamics. Therefore, you're worthless. That's what they want you to believe. But it's titled Satan's Globe Lie. It's like, no, that is genuinely what you guys have to believe on a globe. You're but an insignificant speck of dust in an ever-expanding, massive expansion of sky vacuum that the gases we breathe don't fill, in violation of the second law of thermodynamics.
God's flat Earth. Creation is...
Sorry, God's flat Earth is an azimuthal equidistant globe projection, is it? I don't think God would have made it into an azimuthal equidistant globe projection that has its origins in flat Earth angle measurements to the stars. I'm thinking no.
the only explanation.
I see. Other than the fact that it's a azimuthal equidistant globe projection with its origins in flat Earth angle measurements to the stars, I'm going to go with no.
We are incredibly valuable. The Bible...
I am. I will say that. I am incredibly valuable. Me. I'll just speak for me. I'm 100% sure of how valuable I am, and there's no other scale other than 100% for me, personally. You know, equal value, wife, and children. That's it. They've all got 100% value. Very, very, very valuable. Right? In the pre-show, we were talking about the value of Neil's car versus the value of his life. One has 0 value. The other is infinitely valuable.
The Bible is 100% true. We live on...
Sorry, only the Bible is 100% true by comparison to you and your satanic misrepresentation of a Earth that is just heliocentric in all the descriptions. No. Shout out to all my Buddhist flat earthers out there.
on an unmoving firm foundation. You were created by God. God loves you.
Oh, both of those sentiments are both nice, though. And there is definitely an external creator.
If you think the Earth is flat...
It's not a thought, it's not a belief, it's a fact based on its measurements. If you want to believe the Earth is a globe, you must accept it's measured flat. because that's where the genesis of the globe comes from. So you can't have a globe Earth unless you accept that Earth must be measured flat to create it.
Is your brain flat too?
So that's your side of these arguments with your memes then, globe Earthers of the world. If you think the Earth is flat, is your flat brain in order, functioning correctly? What a wonderful argument. Earth is measured flat, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you've got. This is your general run-of-the-mill, numpty globe believer standard. This is enough for you, isn't it? If you're one of those people that this is enough for, good for you. You're an idiot.
The Earth is round.
Round and flat aren't mutually exclusive, but suggesting that the Earth is a sphere will have its genesis measurements in a flat Earth. Or on a flat Earth.
The Earth is flat. The Earth is a cube. When you've been roasting these flat earthers and suddenly they put a bag over your head and you...
When you've been roasting these globe believers and not having to shove a bag over their head, just showing them where their globe Earth measurements originated. Of course, I can say that without having to have a fake voice.
You hear one of them say, take him to the edge.
The edge? What edge? One stereotype edge that you've invented for us on our behalf, right? Take us to that edge. You've got an edge on a globe. It's at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet in your Earth curve mathematics. It's called Earth curve. We debunked it in 2020. Distance to horizon beyond the geometric limitations at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Black swan. The Earth is not a sphere. The horizon is not Earth curve. An edge that you had boats falling over. But yet you need to attack us with this. Take us to your edge. Which one? The ones boats fell over when you thought it was Earth curve? Yeah, that's been debunked. It was debunked in 2020 by the Black Swan. Your edge, not mine. I don't have one.
The Earth is actually a donut, and the reason the sky...
Why would anybody suggest the Earth is a donut? This is idiotic.
...is blue is because you see the ocean above you.
Because if you're 12 and you start a YouTube channel, you get 297,000 subscribers. Because YouTube love dumbing people down. YouTube wants you to be stupid. 100 people watching this. You're among the privileged few that have had this channel and its content shared with you. Lucky old you. You are in the minority of minorities. For the rest of YouTube, the majority, they want you to be stupid.
Me talking to Flat Earther.
So you're a dunce. You think you're talking to a brick wall if this is the scenario. If this is a globe believer, yeah, I'd buy it. This is the first one I agree with. A globe earther thinking he's talking to a flat earther is talking to a brick wall. Because in his mind, there's no communication actually happening. He might as well be talking to a brick wall because he's not going to listen to a single word I say as a flat earther. He's going to say what he wants to say to the wall. And if the wall responds, he can't quite believe it. He'll have to repeat it.
Flat Earther. No, gravity is fake.
So why would a flat earther be talking about gravity? Gravity is fake. Well, it's not fake. It's conceptual. As in pseudo-Romanian, pseudo being the most operative word in terms of your globe Earth rhetoric about a non-force, a bent fourth-dimensional space-time. Can you show it me? Oh, you can't? I mean, you could call that fake if you're going to suggest it's something that's real, and you can't show it in physical terms, because it has no physicality. It's a bent space-time. But what? This is an outrageous suggestion that a flat earther talking about your globe Earth belief in a concept called gravity. I'm a flat earther. I've got no need to talk about this stupid nonsense that you believe in. This is your belief. You mean globe earther barking gravity at a flat earth? That's what you actually mean. Because it's not my claim, it's yours.
General relativity, yeah.
General relativity, yes. Is that enough? This is what they want for you, General Normie Numpty. Is it an expansive description of why general relativity is... It's not even that, it's just a yes. General relativity, yes. Okay, I mean, as a numpty comporting globe believing retard, I suppose just general relativity, yes, is sufficient. Flat earther, gravity, no. What's this got to do with me? Nothing. What's it got to do with you? Well, just believe it.
Yes. If the Earth is flat, explain how time zones work. Flat Earth.
What time zones? What derivative angle measurements to the sun? You'll need a flat Earth for that. Maybe we can derive some concepts like time from those angle measurements of the sun in terms of its movements. Maybe we can utilize the analemma. Maybe we can do a lot of things with flat Earth measurements. But everything else that's to do with time is merely conceptual. The time isn't something you can give me a bag of. It's not a real physical thing. It's conceptual. Now, you can talk about the movement of the sun and measure it with angles, but you'd need a flat Earth for that. So time zones, what these conceptual lines that don't really exist, that we've arbitrarily constructed and distorted the South massively with. You think they prove a globe, do you? Au contraire, you'll need a flat Earth for them.
Earthers. When you were looking
That was your argument? Picture of a cat? We're nearly at the end of these. These are all awful.
for a recipe, but ended up browsing for 7 hours, and now the Earth is definitely flat.
When you're looking for a recipe, but ended up browsing for 7 hours. How non sequitur much? And now the Earth is definitely flat because you've been looking for a recipe for 7 hours. It's a complete non sequitur. It's a picture of a cat looking at a laptop. These are shit.
The Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe.
It's almost like that's been commented on a bazillion different flat earthers YouTube videos by bots for the last 18 months.
Might wanna reread your statement there, but the first real image of Earth. Wake up, sheeple.
That's a picture of a turtle or something pretending to be with like soil on it. What, like Tolkien? No, I don't think it's turtles. Yeah, Tolkien does. Well, that was awful. I'll never get that time back. I feel slightly robbed. Okay, well, either way. Let the videographer know. I'll just do my call to action, then I will open it up, I promise. Please let the videographer know, which is Memendel. I don't know how to say it. Dark, either way. Excuse me. Please let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. As you can see, I've put a link to his video in the live stream YouTube chat. So if you are amongst the 105 people currently watching the stream, please toddle along to his video, which is called Memes Flat Earthers Want You to Believe. That's a complete lie. I'm a flat earther. None of that was coherent. I ripped apart every single nonsense aspect of every single stereotype presented in these memes. But let him know we've responded to his stupid memes, regardless of if he's just a custodial influencer, that is to say he's rounded up these memes from other people, or if indeed he's the original developer of each. I don't care either way. We've responded to them and their sentiment. Please let him know I've done so. There's a link going by in the live stream chat. Just leave him a nice comment that says, @Nathan Oakley 1980, all one word, sent me. And it should say he's covered your memes or something nice. Just don't swear at him or be abusive, because it'll just get picked up by the YouTube bots and removed, or removed by the videographer himself. But if you would be so kind, let him know I sent you. The idea being, if he was to do a response and say, don't take it so seriously, man, they're just memes. Yeah, well, they're memes that stereotype me as a flat earther with something that I'm not, and I'm going to respond to them. You don't have to like it. Anyway, hopefully he put a link to my video if he was to do the same for us. Hopefully a few of you have toddled along and left him a comment. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. There's my call to action. Did you all enjoy that?
So, Nathan, it's safe to conclude there's absolutely no beliefs required when it comes to flat and stationary Earth, simply because that's the way we experience it and measure it that way. So he's projecting their nonsense because everything about the globe is belief-based, blind belief-based. And not only that, it has no relation with the reality we experience.
Right.
Can't be measured, can never be experienced. It's all belief-based.
Yeah, their belief in a globe is based on flat Earth measurements.
Correct. No pun intended.
I feel sorry for YouTube in a way because they have to promote that. So it's like when you have to put up your son's terrible drawing on the fridge just to please him.
I don't know if the people who work for YouTube know that they're algorithmically dumbing people down or not. It's hard to know. But if you did know and did it anyway, would it make any difference? when Congress have got a stranglehold on what YouTube do and they say, censor this. And they go, yes, sir. Okay, well, that's the society we live in, isn't it? And the society we live in wants one world religion. A one world religion is the globe. That's the one world religion that they want us to be under for whatever mechanism of control. I don't even need to speculate about it. I can just prove that it isn't. Everyone believes it is, though, don't they? So that is the world we live in. For whatever reason, they need to keep flat Earth at the surface level so it can be continually ridiculed and mocked. Now, anybody who actually gets to the origins of the globe and the flat Earth measurements we all use and links those two together, you'll get the treatment that we get. As far down the bottom of the possible list that could be as we can be. Any other comments? But yeah, sad for YouTube that they've got a dumb society down. Oh well. Preferred content is what will make you stupid. No? Nobody else got any comments on that?
Come on, Discord, help us out.
Not very busy in Discord today. There's only half a dozen people in there.
It's Monday. Christmas is approaching. Most people should be working.
What, working towards those Santa Claus gifts?
Being ripped off, yeah.
Okay. I like giving my kids presents at Christmas.
When was the last time a single glober provided, even attempted to provide a proof of the globe, as opposed to trying to talk shit about flat Earth and try to demonize flat Earthers? Does anybody remember when was the last time anybody provided any evidence for the spinning globe in the vacuum?
Whenever it happens at the moment or in the last year, they've been immediately taken to the origins of the flat Earth that is required for them to make those claims.
Always. Oh, Mr. Danny Faulkner's in the chat. Good morning, sir. Okie dokie. The show will
I was going
continue.
to say, last time we spoke to Danny, there was massive protracted silences in between each hello, so...
No worries. Show must go on.
Well,
Did he finish that conversation with Adam in the end? Because he said he was coming back after lunch in the meeting.
I don't know. Adam's not here either way. No, I don't think he did. I can't even remember what the conversation is. Adam would have to be here. Anyway, good to have you, Donny, Mr. Faulkner. Have a title? Is it
Dr.
Doctor?
Faulkner.
Is it? I thought it was. I was going to say, should at least respect his title. Good to have you, Dr. Faulkner, if you can hear us. We have got another video. Did you want to cover that as well, or should we save it till tomorrow? How long have we got left? Just over a quarter of an hour. I'm tempted to save the other video for tomorrow. I don't want to send necessarily three, courses of can you go to this videographer in one show.
Did you do your shorts video already?
Yeah, I already covered it. I covered it right at the beginning of the show. It was just a guy who's doing a sim with aeroplanes. I'm like, well, okay, if you want to be derogatory in any way, shape, or form towards flat earthers when you're using aircraft in a sim, it's going to be referencing a flat plane. Hey, Brian. You had a good weekend?
Hey, Nathan. Hey, everyone. It was okay, yeah. Yeah. No always complaining.
No complaint. I can complain. I've been miserable all weekend.
Is he out?
Yeah, I've been. It's getting a bit boring though. I've been moaning about it for about 2 straight months. Half a dozen dentist visits later, and I'm still moaning about it. At least I can laugh about it.
No improvement on it then, no? Just the same as it was, let's just say.
Well, it's like a level 2 pain on a scale of 1 to 10. And at one point, in between dentist visits, or after I had a couple of fillings, it went up to a level 10. If I did anything, moved, drank anything, touched it, it immediately went to debilitating, can't focus on anything but the absolutely excruciating pain. And on one visit, I went round and we'll figure out where that pain's coming from. And he's poking around every tooth, it's all normal, he's shoving something sharp in. And no, fine, until he touches the right point, and I squealed like a little piggy because it instantly went to that number 10 pain. But now it's just number 2, maybe a number 3 if it gets bad, but just constantly. And it's been like that for 2 months, always. So every time I go in and they're like, well, are you in a lot of pain? I'm like, no, it's just the same. It's constant. So I'm in no doubt I'm probably going to lose this tooth, but there we go. Such is life. I want to do everything I possibly can to not lose it. Boring as this is on a live show, but I do like having a moan. It does make me feel better.
Well, you don't want to be losing your teeth.
No.
So it's worth the effort if it means you don't have to lose your teeth.
May I suggest peppermint tea and magnesium supplement?
I'm actually taking magnesium supplement. And I don't really drink tea. But anyway, let's not talk about this. I've talked about it on so many shows now. Anything exciting happen in regards to Flat Earth, Brian? You've only just arrived.
I posted some stuff into Ballbusters and that over the weekend.
It wasn't Flat Earth related. You were moaning about Zachary Zabala and Whitsitt. And then you sent me an old video with a debate between cats and Fatsoid.
That was just a bit of fun.
Well, that's why I put the question mark, because I watched it. And I didn't have any fun. So I was like, question mark, because I thought there'd be something relevant in it, or it would immediately make me laugh. And it didn't either. So I'm like, question mark. And you're like, send me back, why are you asking this question? And I couldn't be asked.
Yeah, it was probably false advertising. I just enjoyed it myself because, well, I think Conspiracy Cat. It's more because Conspiracy Cats was involved. Because I didn't think it was old. I thought it was something more recent that happened. But maybe it is old. I thought it was more recent. But maybe I'm wrong, like, that kind of way.
They were talking about noble gases and stuff. That's from memory.
Yeah.
It doesn't particularly interest me either way. But anyway, was there anything else? Is that it?
No, I think that's it. I thought you might respond to the thing yesterday's show with Whitsitt and Zachary Zabala. Thought maybe you might look at that.
No, I didn't look at it, no. I didn't actually look at that. No. I haven't had a chance. It wasn't because I didn't want to or anything. It's just I haven't had a chance to. I did see it pop up. I noticed it this morning.
Well, I may as well just say it, right? You remember that thing Eli shared? I had seen it online, and Eli saw it himself. And no, you didn't know that I had seen it, but Eli knows now I did. But long story short, it was about how gravity is possible without mass. Now that alone is absolute horse manure, right? Because they have never defined mass, and gravity doesn't exist.
When you say gravity can exist without mass, do you mean gravity as a force can exist without mass attracting mass?
Well, it's kind of they're blurring the lines. Right, okay. They're blurring the lines, right? That's what they're at the moment. That's basically what that video and that type of stuff is about, blurring the lines. But it was basically Whitsitt took that and made it out as if they were accepting an electric gravity and ether, and he speaks about these things as if they're actually real. It's like shocking. It's like you're speaking about them as if they're real when they've been shown to be utterly wrong. I don't get this. The way he would say to you, or me or whoever, when he's cornered, I'm just like, just postulating and all this other rubbish. But as soon as he gets on the Globebusters, it's all definite. Every single time.
Quick shout
everything is a definite.
Quick shout out. Sorry to interrupt you. Shout out to Goldie McKiernan. So I've got my 2 best moderators here. No offense to anybody else who's in the mod team, but Goldie McKiernan, or Goldie, and Divergent Droid, but easily head and shoulders above all moderators on YouTube, bar none. And when I spoke to Goldie about it, she was like, well, actually, I model my moderation skills on Divergent Droids. So I was like, oh, right, okay. Because she's a mod over on Growing Up in Scientology. So if you're not subscribed to Growing Up in Scientology, go and have a check it out, and you'll see Goldie in there modding for him too. But yeah, nice to see both of you, and thank you very much. Nice that you're supporting me with giving people free channel memberships. Thank you so much, Goldie. Really appreciate it. And sorry, Brian. Feel free to continue. And yes, I get the gist of this. What did you call it? A blur in the lines or something? How did you describe it a moment ago, Brian? Book it off, hasn't he? He said his piece. I've done my super chat shout out, and he's book it off.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, basically what they're doing, basically the mainstream, is they're blurring the lines. That's what they're doing. Now, which is jumping the gun and getting to the point where he's stating that they're claiming basically claiming that everything is electric and magnetic without admitting that they're saying everything is electric and magnetic. And Zachary Zabala is agreeing with him. Funnily enough, Flat Earth Dave comes in, David Weiss, and says, well, look, I don't know. It sounds to me just like a little rush. Actually, at one point, he was just giving it straight honest. Because that's all it was, just a lot of rubbish pumped out by the mainstream. But Whitson is reading into it so far that it means that they're claiming gravity is electric. This the dielectric acceleration is gravity, which would be as a force. And Zachary Zabala and him are, it's like it's like they're patting each other on the back for a job well done when they didn't do anything. They got everything wrong. You know what I mean? That's what the whole... look, there's no point in me telling you any more about it. You either play it or you don't play it. No, but that's the gist of it, basically. And it's just... the definites they're using. And the things they say, everything is electric and magnetic. No, it's not. What? Do you know what I mean? It's... just these big statements that they're making, and it's hard to stomach, to be honest.
We've got Flat Earth Society with their Upward Rising Earth narrative echoed by Dell, and now we've got this injection of a gravity narrative that is totally surplus to requirements for a flat earther, but being peddled by flat earthers. The Schillery level is off the scale, in my opinion.
Well,
go on.
We said the problem was that it's not, the problem was that they're pumping something out as if it's, let's just say this dielectric acceleration. So speaking about that, let's just say in the past couple of years, and all it's going to do is help the mainstream. That's what we said, because it's not real. And we pointed out where it's not real. And they want to, and they're getting out things wrong. All they have to do is listen back to some of the after shows during last week, where QE was covering, and with some of the rest of us, me speaking to Whitsitt and Whitsitt on other shows, and I can't remember all the things, but we were that kind of thing, pointing out all the problems with this claim, and all of them were ignored. And now it's a pat on the back for each other because the mainstream is admitting dielectric acceleration is real. Who gives a damn? It's not real. It's wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's debunked by gas alone. It's like on gas behavior. I won't even go into all the things that destroy that. Because all the things they brought up as proofs turned out to be not proofs. This kind of thing. When you look into what they were claiming, spider ballooning and all this other rubbish. And it's like, but yeah, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. They're just there on this show with I don't know how many watchers, basically stating, yeah, this is all real and we've all already proven it, and the mainstream just don't want to, drop their pride and admit it. No, mainstream are willing to latch on to anything at the moment because they're desperate. But that doesn't mean that what the mainstream will latch on to will be any more real than what they're letting go of. And it certainly doesn't mean that what you're claiming was real at any time.
It's real and needed for the opponent. But as I said earlier, it's absolutely and completely surplus to our requirements as flat earthers. We don't have any need for this magic force of down. It's just not needed. I mean, I really don't get it. It just seems, like I said, it's very shilly to have these things inserted with such insistence when they're not required. Shout out to Vlad on 0 degrees for the super chat. Really appreciate your support.
I wouldn't care about it if it was real.
Go on, Brian, sorry.
I just say I wouldn't care about it if it was real. I wouldn't care if I was wrong about it. As in the past, if I was wrong, I wouldn't care. I'd just admit it. Yeah, I was wrong. They were right. If they were. But they weren't. They were wrong. They weren't right. They were wrong. Me and people like me, we were right.
There's endless spin with gravity. It seems like an endless crap on crap narrative with endless versions of it and revisions of it and changes to it. And it's all there just to mask the idea that we're on a spinning ball and have something magical to hold us to it. I mean, that's all it ever boils down to. You know, it doesn't matter if it's mass attracting mass or bent pseudo-Riemannian fourth dimensional space-time or some blurring of the lines in between the two. But why are we doing it is my point. Why are we flat earthers doing it? Like I said, that's why very few things I'll happily just sit here and say, well, that's very shilly. And, well, how you can't go around calling flat earthers shills, like they're here and part of the confusion. I'm like, well, whether they like it or not, whether it's intentional or not, or paid or not, Dell and people like, in this case, Whitsitt and Jeren and Zachary Sabala are putting out narratives that aren't needed and benefit our opponents. Upward Rising Earth directly speaks to the equivalence principle from Einstein. Well, you're like, well, that's globe Earth.
Yeah.
If you talk about mass attracting mass and incoherent dielectric acceleration as a parallel to it, then you're talking about Newtonian gravity. You don't need this as a flat earther. So it's like, well, if you don't want to be called chills, don't peddle shit we don't need as flat earthers that benefits our opponents. Well, otherwise you're going to get called chills. What else can I call you?
Well, even the video they were responding to, that video where it was about gravity studies have shown that gravity can exist without mass, right? That shows they never understood gravity, any of the gravities. And within that video, the person presenting it shows that they don't understand the difference between what was claimed to be gravity by the mainstream, which is mass attracting mass Newtonian, and what is currently claimed to be gravity, which is general relativity, right? So the respondent, they're not even pulling apart the parts within the video that are wrong. Do you know what I mean? They're not even doing that much. They're just going, yeah, and they're looking straight past all that and just patting each other on the back as if something happened. It's like, I wouldn't care. As I said a while ago, I wouldn't care if dielectric acceleration was real. If it was, but it's wrong. It's not real. It's wrong. We're talking about the nature of a reality here. So why are you accepting something that is wrong?
Because it confirms their bias.
One thing.
It's not about being right or wrong. It's just the bias. They've got something to punt, haven't they? This helps them punt it.
That's the problem, you see. It's helping them punt what they're trying to punt. And it's just like, they're willing to look past where they're wrong. You know, and their misunderstanding of the conflating of static electricity with electrostatics. You know, the incorrect comparison between those two things. They don't even realize, or either they don't, or worse again, if they do realize where they're going wrong there and they don't care, then they're just being straight out dishonest. At the moment, they just think that they're patting each other on the back for a job well done, when it's a job that was horrendous. You know what I mean? It's like people, like the engineers patting themselves on the back who put up the leaning tower of Pisa. It's like, I'm sorry, lads, you didn't do a good job. Like, that's not correct. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just affirming their bias, though, isn't it? That's all that they're batting on. You know, this seems like it backs up what we've been saying. Therefore, well done us. Unless I'm missing something.
Yeah, but it is like, if you play the thing, you'll hear it's the definite used. It's like everything is essentially magnetic and electric. It's like, or electric and magnetic. It's like, no, it's not. It's not. Like, a lot of things are like they will have some, like you could say, a lot of things will have a basis in those two forces or whatever. But I don't know if magnetism actually could be called a force, but do you know what I mean? A lot of things will have their basis in magnetism or electricity, but everything is not electric or magnetic. What about my toilet roll? Is that electric or magnetic? Or is it just toilet roll? You know what I mean? It's like everything. It's like what about water? Is that electric or magnetic? Do you know what I mean? It's like maybe you might be able to get a charge off of some of it. Do you know what I mean? The human body, yeah, there's a lot of electric charge in the human body, but everything is not electric or magnetic. You know, to make that statement or to make that statement and with such certainty, it's like, that's wrong. That's wrong to state that. It's just an incorrect statement. Why are you stating it? You know, but they're promoting this stuff as if it's all a done deal. And ether ether, that's another thing. Wichita will try, and I'm sure Zachary Zabala will be no different. They'll try to speak about ether when they're cornered as if it's just some philosophical idea they have. But when they're not being cornered and they're on a show like that, they're talking about it as if it's actually real.
Yeah. Well, you're here to tell him it's not, Brian?
Are we not all here for that?
Well, I thought we were here to tell people about Flat Earth. But, you know, having to fight against the Ethereans is fine too, I guess.
Well, it kind of left us no choice. Because people will view them as flat earthers. So they'll think that you or me are promoting this stuff as well.
Yeah. And they're going to go out and get the receipts for all the people that they tell about it.
Still got to deal with it, Nathan.
Here we go. I told you so. I said we needed to deal with this ages ago. Right, Neil?
Exactly. Tell him, Brian.
Hey, Neil. Good to hear from you, buddy. Yeah, exactly. We did say that a long time ago, Nathan. We should be dealing with that, nipping it in the bud. But I don't, we did say that.
Yeah, I know. Well, we are now. I mean, QE's doing a whole month-long, constant covering of every single word, forensically going through it, based on his deceit. So that if anybody's unclear, there's no doubt now, given that he's, 2 weeks, 3 weeks into it? Seems like longer. Probably isn't.
The problem with that is this. Now, he's going to be angry at me, but I don't care. He's angry all the time anyway. Is you're showing up with it to not know what he's talking about. And let's say what QE is doing. He's showing up with it to not know what he's talking about. And he's showing up him to be dishonest. Like he was completely dishonest on that one of the things we were covering last week. What Wickett did was he kind of inserted an ending into a citation from Einstein that wasn't the ending when he was speaking to me. A citation I only heard once. Wickett rattled it off verbatim until he got towards the ending, and he added in his own ending, which was completely dishonest. Right? Things like that. But all that will be looked past. The only problem with all that is all that will be looked past. Right? If Wickett did prove the existence of an ether, which he won't, right? But the point is, if he did, all those things would be looked past. Or if he can give the impression he can prove the existence of an ether, all those things will be looked past because people will only focus on, at that point, the ether and his supposed proof for it. Right? So, as opposed to us more pointing out the implications of the ether, which we're also doing, but because they're also part of all that as well. The problem is that people will view it as we're just attacking Wickett, and even though he might have character flaws, people are saying to themselves, well, he's very smart in other ways, and he knows this, that, and the other thing, and he's got a point about the ether, even though if they listen to the shows, they'd see that he doesn't have any point concerning ether, and that's what we're pointing out. But we're also pointing out that his character is flawed and he's immature, that kind of thing. But people are going to focus on that as if we're just attacking with it, as opposed to us showing the implications of the ether, or focusing on what he's claiming concerning that. If you understand what I mean. See, it's hard to know because you have to just attack what he's saying, but at the same time, like, why are people still believing that such a thing as an ether exists? Why are they doing
they're being
that?
told by
with all
Whitsitt,
the stuff
Jaren and
out.
Zachary Zabala.
Say it again?
Because they're being told that it exists. You're asking it rhetorically, I assume.
Yeah, they're being told it exists by those three, but the problem is that they're being told it exists by those three lads. But I'm saying how people are viewing what's going on at the moment on QE Live and Ballbusters and that, and what's going on in the after shows of this show and that, like last week. They're viewing it as us just attacking with it. No, we're pointing out his character flaws and his immaturity, yeah. So people, we're taking away, that should take away somebody's trust in him, right? But we're also pointing out where ether is non-existent, where there's no proof being given, where when it comes to proof, we get a red herring or we get a personal attack or some nonsense, right? From Whitsitt or whoever. But people are viewing that as us just attacking Whitsitt. It's like, no, it's not just, we're not just attacking them for no reason. You know what I mean? So you have all these people out there who are still promoting this rubbish because they've been told that we're just attacking Whitsitt. And that's it, if you understand what I mean. It's like, no, it's not that we're not just attacking Whitsitt for no reason. That would be stupid. There's a very good reason why we're pointing out these things. But there's so much being pointed out that people are not hearing and listening, or maybe not listening when it's happening, where we're pointing out the implications of what he's claiming concerning ether. They're not paying attention to that, and they're not taking on board what those implications are, and what his supposed proof is, and how it's a nothing. What he's actually doing is trying to hijack what's up. He's trying to hijack, and I said it to him myself, he's trying to hijack the unknown. He's trying to hijack basically invisible light. That's what ether somehow exists within visible light. This is what he's trying. This is basically what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and he needs a gateway to do it. That's the real reason we're involved. Because if it wasn't for the fact that no one would be interested in this complete tosh, if it wasn't for the fact that he was making his way into it off the back of people's interest in flat Earth.
He's not trying to do it. He has successfully done it.
Well, between the ether and dielectric acceleration, between those two things, I mean, that's two big hurdles for us to have to overcome now in the future when we're dealing with the outside, the mainstream people, because they're going to have the lines blurred, aren't they? And then you have Dell's upward rising Earth and the outer ponders and all this. All these lines are being blurred. It's like the concentration of information is becoming so diffused that people are hearing all kinds of nonsense concerning us flat earthers.
So while it comes to my mind, I saw on McToon's channel this morning in my feed that Tim Pool, the YouTube political commentator, is going to host a flat Earth debate. So it might be worth contacting him and emailing him just to say that you'll be willing to put yourself forward for that as a representative for flat Earth.
Be sure to let him know what your fee is.
They got to pay Brian first.
Right, we'll discuss it in the after show, but with that, I am going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So another massive thank you to all of you gifted memberships, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, smash the super chat, hit me up on PayPal or Ko-Fi and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley. Another massive thank you to today's Discord and G Plus panels, and I will see you all in the next video.